It is amazing when you're trying to move out of a house, how many times you go back into a room and find one more thing.
We have Dave Kramer, the founder of All Pro Web Tools.
Dave has worn many hats over the years as a small businessman.
Well, I really feel that small business is the core of the American economy.
Amen.
Think of all the great stories that begin with a stranger coming into town or someone leaving their home. What's your answer when someone asks you, "What have you been up to lately?" "Oh, same old thing. Same stuff, different day." Well, whose fault is that? How can you have an interesting life when you live in the same town and you work at the same job? I am about to embark on an adventure. I'm leaving the United States and I'm going to Thailand. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the craziness of the last few days that I had in the United States as I prepared to leave, and just kind of going through a day in the life of Dave and all the different stuff that I was doing. So I hope you enjoy it.
So here I am in an empty house, ready to leave for Thailand. So I've fully committed. There's no turning back now. So this is all I'm taking with me to Thailand. 2 bags. And most of that is camera equipment, my laptop, and the boxes are computers that I'm only taking to Thailand because of the chip shortage, and I'm afraid that I might not be able to replace the computers when I get there. So I'm going to bring 2 computers just so that I can at least get the work done that I need to get done. So what am I going to do with this house? I'm going to rent it out. I've done the math. It's a 2-bedroom, and then it has like this little loft area, which really is a bedroom, but they're not allowed to call it that for legal reasons. But this place has 2 bedrooms and 2.5 baths, and it's in Florida, right in the middle in Lakeland, and it should go for about $1,600 a month. Now in Thailand, $1,600 a month can buy me 4 condos. So I figure that with the HOA fees, the taxes, the management fees, all those things, I should be netting about $800 a month. And that's enough to pay for my rent in Thailand and all of my food, my electric, my cell phone, my internet access, everything. All my own personal expenses will be covered just by the income on this property. How do I feel? Am I sad? Am I worried? Am I stressed? No, not at all. Actually, it's interesting. When you have all these items that you have to take care of, that's where the stress comes from. But as I'm getting rid of things, that's how I feel about it. I'm getting rid of things. And people are coming and taking these things from me, and I feel relieved. Every time something goes out the door, somebody's taken something that I don't have to worry about anymore. So I really have nothing that I own anymore. I only own what is in those 2 bags and those 2 cardboard boxes. That's it. And it's really a freeing feeling. I'm moving my company out there.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
That's why I have to sell everything I own. Everything is gone. So that's it. I'm done. Next stop, Thailand.
There he is.
Speak of the devil.
He's at a random office space.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that you're working on the hiring process. So I actually did some research over the last week to try to help find you some people. So that's part of what we're going to be going over today.
And if you have your training videos, like Kelly, you and I have gone over quite a bit, you already know what the process is like of training that new employee. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep it profitable.
I mean, you lose friends. Well, maybe you gain new friends. Maybe you gain better friends. You have to contemplate the price you pay for inaction. You have to send out 500 resumes. You have to be rejected 499 times. You have to polish your interview skills. You have to update your CV, which means you have to take a real look at the inadequacies in your preparation. And maybe you won't find a better job. It's like, no wonder you're afraid of that. Okay, You're in this job you hate and it's 10 years from now. How does that look? Think about that. You already know you're in a little hell. You know perfectly well it's going to get worse. Which is more frightening? Action or inaction? Well, the thing about inaction is you're blind to it.
So why am I doing this? Well, think about if you had a favorite restaurant and they served the best food and you went there every single week. And over the years, you started to notice that the quality declined. The meal sizes were getting smaller, the quality was worse, and this customer service was continuing to decline. How long would you continue going to that restaurant before you just gave up and went across the street to a restaurant that treated you better? That's how I feel about the landscape in America when it comes to small business. It's just gotten to a point where I can't ignore the fact that I can get treated better as a business owner in other countries. So I'm about to start exploring that.
It's obvious that you and I think very similar about who cares what people think about you. You know, you got to take care of business. Unfortunately, I don't really feel like I'm going to miss anything here in America.
It's not an unfortunate, it's a good thing then.
I feel like I'm going toward my future. I'm not crying about the past. There's not something here that I want.
How many times you have left everything behind? This ain't the first time.
California, Colorado, 2 times. This is the 3rd time.
Do not make the assumption that inaction has no price. And so then you think, I'm terrified of this, but I'm even more terrified of that. It's not that I'm brave. It's that I'm more terrified of the alternative. It's your destiny calling to you. You have an instinct for growth. That's not a mystical statement. It's part of being human. We don't reach the limits of our potential. We're neotenic in some sense. We're continual children, biologically speaking. And so we're always transforming and changing in some direction. What direction? Well, your conscience tells you, at least in part, this bugs you. Well, it's your problem. Still, that's something calling to you, and you avoid it at your peril and everyone else's peril too. And then you can refuse that, but then all the meaning goes out of your life if you do that. That's not good. And then it turns out that if you do that, well, then your life gets better. And I don't mean happier exactly, although I would say it gets happier. I mean it gets richer and more meaningful and deeper and more worthwhile, and you become more educated and you become wiser and you treat yourself with more respect and you're a better model for other people.
Something else I've been hearing is now is not the time to be traveling. I would argue that this is a great time to be traveling. I got first-class service everywhere I went. There were no lines. It was great.
My mind has been very much on just processing tickets and getting COVID tests and scheduling things. There's just been so much detail to travel right now. Then I get on the plane and my stomach is literally growling because I'm hungry. And I had the presence of mind to pack a Cliff Bar and some raw pecans in my carry-on. So that kind of held me over. But then when I landed at midnight in Los Angeles, trying to find the shuttle to get me to the hotel was like a 2-hour process. But I got to the hotel like 12 or 1 in the morning. And that's 12 or 1 in the morning California time, which is actually 4 a.m. Eastern, which is where my clock is, right? So I'm starving, and the only food available is like a little frozen burrito, which is not my normal cuisine.
Right, not cutting it. Yeah,
No.
You like your health food, Dave. How crowded was the flight?
Every single seat. Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah. Southwest is packing people right now.
Wow.
But from everything I've heard, the flights to Thailand are like 3 seats to a person.
Right, right. That's surprising that Southwest is so booked though, because they are like you were talking about Tampa International was like empty.
Yes. Yeah. I think what the airlines have done, especially Southwest, I think Southwest as a company, as far as like being investable,
Right.
I'm probably going to put some money on them because they're running a business. They've reduced their number of flights. They're
Right.
packing people in. And they're doing it. I mean, if they're flying their planes at full capacity, then and they haven't really dropped their rates that much, they're still in profit.
I see. So that was the mode there. What they did, instead of like booking more flights with fewer passengers, they booked fewer flights with more passengers. That poses its own risks, right? But yeah, as a profit model, you know, it helps them keep their expenses level.
Right. Cut the costs and increase the profit. So like I said, as a business, they're doing the right thing.
Did your computers made it through the first flight, right?
So I was very concerned that TSA would rip them open and look through everything. It's also interesting getting through the TSA checkpoint. You know, normally they want you to take your laptop out of your bag. They want you to take your shoes off. They want you to have the Ziploc bag with all your toothpaste in it.
Right.
None of that. Oh, and when I got up to the TSA checkpoint, there was only 2 people in line ahead of me.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that was because Tampa was so clear, right?
Yeah. So it was nice. So I just walked right up, gave my ID, and then they literally just had me put my bag on the X-ray, and that's it. Like, don't take anything out.
Wow. You had to wear a mask the whole way through the airport, right?
Yeah. As soon as you enter the airport.
Wow. Did you wear it on the flight?
Right.
So you got checked into your hotel in LA. You got a pretty nice room, right?
Yeah. Very nice.
Cool. Got a good deal.
It's free.
Oh, well, there you go.
This entire trip is free, except for the food that I'm buying.
Right. You're using some of your rewards points that you've gotten through leveraging credit to do that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
We have 2 handy videos about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I planned on doing some more credit card videos based on this trip showing that.
And I'm very thankful to my team and for their diligence and working hard and supporting my effort to continue to expand the company and go international. The thing that I really want to point out to you is that you have control of your life. And when you have a business, it just gives you so many opportunities. There's so much tax savings. There's leveraging that you can do with your money with different loans and different things. And when you have a team like I do that is really performing well in your business, then that gives you the freedom to leave your business behind and go pursue other things because you know your team is going to be taking care of things. Now, it also is very important to have systems in place. That's something I talk about quite regularly on my channel. Thanks so much for joining me on this video. In my next video, I'm going to actually get on the plane. I'm going to show you what it's like to fly international during the time of COVID. And you're going to get to see my little adventure in Hong Kong, China. And finally, my arrival in Thailand. Thanks so much for coming along with me on this adventure. If you can take just a second to click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, that way you'll be notified when I drop my next video when I'm on my way to Thailand. Your goal should be to have the freedom to do what you want to do, and the vehicle that's going to get you there is having your own small business. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I drop a video to teach you exactly how to do that, how to run and manage your own small business.